broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy? Man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count. Cause I'm two up right now. Two up.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
Now, he wasn't playing that last game right here on earth, was he? I mean, there's just no way. I mean, that performance, that number of times getting the ball into the end zone, throwing it.
No interceptions,
No interceptions, took care of it. Yeah, he was a little otherworldly in his last performance.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
3-19.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They're going to look to throw. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Leopard. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First carry for Nick Chubb, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 63 yards.
They've won 2 straight games. They've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
Hey, here we go now. Green 39.
Play fake. Mayfield. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action. Mayfield got his man complete over the middle. It's Gordon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
No, check. Patriot.
Now Mayfield. Throw left side complete. It's Kelly. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dayon Buchanan in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And they're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
First down, Mayfield. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Under pressure and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years because he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. He's the reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively, they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit it.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Leopard! Detroit! Over!
Now back to throw. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Sanders on for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Now let's go. Boom, landed.
Mayfield on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. Mayfield now on 2nd down. To the right side and complete to Njoku. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
From the gun, Mayfield finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good work in that first half. More from you guys in a minute. But first, let's get to some scores right here on the day before Halloween. We'll get this started up in Orchard Park, in AFC's matchup with the Jets in town to take on Buffalo. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. Traquan Smith, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Tajay Sharp, a touchdown catch in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the second time. .44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man there to knock it away that time. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
So now here come the Dolphins. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They forced a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. He'll drop to throw. Going up top. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. Right? In baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
When you're trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
They run it again with Chubb. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, it was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A run for Nick Chubb, and he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front. The linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
Detroit! Detroit! Back 99 Philly. Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up second down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Detroit! Detroit!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 39 on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 30.
Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6.
Gone, 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 gone. Detroit, Detroit.
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. It's complete to Grant. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, this is Kamara. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is now 21-14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Kelly. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%. And it's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue line. Blue line.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing. Mayfield. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Here's Brett Kern now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there for the Dolphins. And even 40 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll set up a throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
On 2nd down, Mayfield again. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. That's caught by Kelly. A good pickup there at 22. First down now, but that clock rolling. A first down throw for Mayfield. And that's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 25, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. On the right side, open is Gesicki. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They're going to look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Sanders now to add the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Leopard! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Miami, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, They drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.
Renegade, renegade, renegade,
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when the drop home, gave in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know.